Hello, good morning, namaste, vanakkam, everyone, and welcome to today's session of Young Indian Theosophists organized by the Indian section. And I welcome you all for this very interesting session today that we are going to have. But before we start our proceedings, let us all come together in heart and mind and invoke the presence of that universal immutable principle in which we live, move, and have our being. O hidden life, vibrant in every atom. O hidden light, shining in every creature. O hidden love, embracing all in oneness. May all who feel themselves as one with thee know they are therefore one with every other. Let's observe silence for a few minutes. Hello and welcome back again. And today, as you know, the subject is very interesting, and as part of the program planning on Young Indian Theosophists, today is the session that we have a video. Okay, these times we have been playing the videos of J. Krishnamurti on some very relevant and contemporary subjects. And then we have our moderator who will be leading all of us for a group discussion, for deeper probing of our mind, looking within. And to do that moderation, we have with ourselves today Brother Harnath Modukari from Ananth Lodge, Tadepalligudam. And he has been doing this regularly. And today also he will be our moderator. And the video that we'll be playing today is What is the Right Relationship to Money by J. Krishnamurti. But to know more about Brother Harnath and about the subject, without wasting any time, I hand over the mic to Brother Harnath. Over to you.
Thank you, Kaji, for introducing such a nice introduction you had given. So, first of all, I would like to introduce myself. I had done my MBA HR marketing from JNTU Kakinada University. So, after completion of my MBA, I entered into sales and marketing industry, and I had overall more than eight plus years of experience into sales and marketing. So, I work with Prion Business Services Private Limited, which is a subsidiary group of Amazon. I work there as a team lead. So that's about my professional and educational background. So I came across Theosophy in 2020. I know Theosophy before itself, but I full-fledgedly entered into Theosophy in the year of 2020. And I can't say like I'm more influenced by the teachings of JK because I feel like JK is not something different from me, but it is he is me. I feel like that because the way of he thinks it resembles my thinking, my thinking ability or the pattern or whatever I can say. It is just like that's the reason I got influenced by the JK. And one more suggestion for you is like that if you want to follow JK, don't see JK as a bit by bit videos. So if you want to understand him completely, you have to go across all the videos that are available on YouTube. I think there are more than 660 plus videos are there in YouTube. So I spent 1 year in studying all the videos. After seeing all the videos, I get the complete picture. Not I can't see complete picture, but at least I understand at some level about what is JK and what he is trying to tell to the audience. So that's about my profile. Today we are going to talk about a more interesting subject, like what is the right relationship of money for human beings. So let's go to the video, and we will see the video first, and then we will have the group discussion about that video.
Okay, sure. I'll share the video now. Let me know if everything is all right, the sound and
Yeah. So we had listened to his words that made us clear, like what is exactly the relationship of money with us, and moreover, he has spoken more about things like not to be occupied. So how to probe into this question, like what exactly the right relationship of money with the human beings? Instead of going like what is the right relationship, can we go like what is not the right relationship, so that we can find out what is the right relationship? For suppose, if you ask, money is very necessary for us to fulfill our basic needs, roti kapda makan, like uh, in order to fulfill our basic needs, we need money. Without money we can't survive. The physical survival is impossible, right? So without money we can't fulfill our needs. But the problem here is, if you observe, the need is converting into greed. That is the major problem here. When the need becomes greed, that creates havoc in this society, that creates not only destruction in the society. That greed is making all these kind of nonsense, all the wars that are happening right now, and that greed is converting into kind of desire. And I can say it's a kind of defensive desire or offensive desire, whatever we can talk about. We become always defensive, so that in defending ourselves we are inventing all the defense. We are investing more in defense. If you see the GDP of our country, we invest more onto defense, not onto the basic infrastructure facilities that is the basic need. Instead of investing more into these basic infrastructure facilities, we are investing more in defense, which is not at all necessary. But if you see any country is giving prior importance to these nonsense and these kind of not necessary things. So if you go into this question, like what is not the right relationship, even I can say, like nowadays people has correlated this money to not only to human beings but also for plants, for animals, everything. Like we all know, we every people nowadays are growing money plants in their houses. They feel like jade plant will give money to us, money plant will bring us money to us. And not only plants, but also they try to uh, pet some animals also, like tortoises or fishes or some animals that brings us money. So see the futility of the thought. So see the futility of human beings of thought. What is happening exactly? They they are giving such a kind of prior importance to money. I really don't feel that much of importance is necessary to give for money. If you go and ask Anil Ambani or Mukesh Ambani or Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, anybody who take any top rich persons, if you go and ask that person what exactly you are getting from that money, if you ask that question, maybe he will tell you he, it gives some kind of temporary pleasure. That's it. it will never help you to find out what exactly the truth is. But we are giving such a kind of prior importance, and perpetually our minds are occupied with this money, which is not necessary. So K is telling, like, if at all, if your minds are constantly and perpetually occupied with anything like desire or the money, sex, power, what else, so there will be no space in your mind, and that no space will brings you no rest to your mind, and that no rest will automatically degrade or denudate, or it will what where your brain, it will goes, your brain will undergoes the salinity. So automatically a kind of dullness will come to your mind, because your mind is always occupied with something. An occupied mind will never find out what exactly the original is, what exactly the truth is. For suppose if your mind is occupied with certain superstition beliefs, certain dogmas or certain rituals, you will never be able to see what exactly the truth is. But what we are doing right now is we are always occupied with all kinds of things uh, given by the Pope or given by the gurus, and we are seeing that is truth, but actually that is not the truth. When the mind is completely not occupied, if it is having some space, in that space you can find out, you will get some thought where you can find out what the eternal thing is. So let's begin the discussion. Like, instead of going what is the right relationship, go with what is not the right relationship with money, so that we will find out what is the right relationship by the end of the discussion.
Anyone who would like to speak, kindly switch on your video and raise your hands visually or electronically so I can spotlight you. Anil Kumar Baruaji, you want to say something?
Anyone can share your thoughts or your ideas about this. What is the relationship of money? Because a lot of experienced people I can see on this platform. So we would like to hear some valuable thoughts or valuable information, if at all, if you can share with us, so that it might help us for us.
Vimalji has raised her hand.
Yeah, Vimalji, you can.
Only to contribute to the just to keep the discussion going. So basically, I think this was a wonderful video and excellent selection, because this goes to the very core of Krishnamurti's teachings. The basic thing is how to get away from fear, and how to observe without thought impinging on us. So these are very crucial teachings. Of course, there is this famous saying that there's always enough for need, but never going to be enough for greed. So we could look at the answer to, one answer to this question could be, can we look at how much are we motivated by greed, and how much is needed? How much money is just needed for us, and how much is motivated by greed? And in this matter, one can also look at, India is a fastly developing country, but it is also possible that we are sacrificing a lot for infrastructure. We are sacrificing a lot for not understanding what we were as a civilization. We were a civilization which was the only civilization which was vegetarian, which understood the value of animals. And from there, we've come a very long way. We have got so corrupt, And that's where the Western civilization has had its impact on us. But at the same time, what Krishnamurti says, that all of us going to the mountains is not going to be of any use because our mind is full of all of it. So that's not the solution, which was also a wrong practice in India. So somewhere in between is the truth that we have to find, a balance between what is needed in terms of infrastructure and what is just greed. Better and better of what? Finally, we need only certain things to live. And do we need such excellent infrastructure? Do we really need? Or do we need to look at what's really happening in us, in our Indian civilization? What is happening to us? The amount of hatred, the amount of one-upmanship, and it's bizarre. Like we are celebrating the smallest of idiotic things with big parties and so much of give and take, so many gifts. I mean, we are full of giving and taking, and money has now become like necessary to be part of society. If you don't have enough money, you're not part of most of what Indian society today is doing. So we become very isolated in this situation when we are looking at these questions. But it's more important right now to see how we can develop our own character to live without fear, and how much this aspect of this whole greed aspect of the Indian society that is bound to affect us. We are going to be affected, and one can say one stays away from social media, but even when one stays away from social media, there's family whom we are connected to who have become like that. So it's all very complex, and it requires a lot of thought and understanding to uh, build our own self to save ourselves from this tsunami of greed that we are surrounded with. So that's all I can say. Thank you.
So if you observe the point here, like greed or the desire, how it is happening for us, if you go into the roots of this point, how this desire arises in yourself, or how this greed is cultivating in yourself. If we take up that thing, then we can say, like, we can at least for some extent we can reduce this point, like how to be not selfish or not to be having that much of greed. What the point Vimalji has raised is very true. Like we are giving more importance to the infrastructure. If you see the governments also, they are investing a lot money in the infrastructure facilities, which are not exactly necessary. If you see building these statues or building Central Vista for 6,000 crores. Even if you see the religious organizations, what they are doing exactly, the most funds are going to religious organizations. If you observe the things, not the political organizations. So I had read this in some article that religious organizations are getting more and more funding from than any other organization. And what they are doing is they are contributing that money for service. And some, if you see, recently I have studied a news like Amrita Anandamayima has built some Asia's biggest hospital, Amrita Hospital in Haryana. Like, it's cost around more than 6,000 crore, man. Then I got shocked how much money they got. And for building a statue of Ramanujan, he has invested almost 600 crores in Hyderabad. So why can't we invest this money for poor instead of investing on the infrastructure? And again, what is happening? This infrastructure is again demolished by ourselves only in the name of wars. What happened in Ukraine right now? They had built a very good infrastructure, but it got demolished by Russia because of a war. A huge amount they had used time, huge labor they had invested in that. it just spoiled in a minute just because of a war. So is that necessary? Is that important to have that money investing in infrastructure? Or else if we invest that money in some service or some kind of service things, I think it will help the society. That is my personal opinion actually. So anybody have any other things? I think Shikarji, you have some point on this.
Yeah, I think this is more about one's individual's approach or relationship to money, not what a government is doing or others are doing, or how the people around the world are dealing with money. So I think we have to look, I mean, it's easy to point fingers at others, how everywhere everyone is doing, but are we free completely from that? Because otherwise then we are also contributing in that, in maybe little degree or more degree, but to some degree we are also contributing. So that I think, yeah, we have, as he says, because on one hand he's Krishnamurti is saying that yes, money, but he's not saying money is not necessary, because we are living in a world, we don't have a barter system, which would have been better where there is no money, but we exchange things for wealth, for their value where they are needed. So if we are living in a society and money is a way of giving and taking, buying things, so yes, to some extent it is necessary, because everybody requires at least the basic needs of food, shelter and clothes. And then he's also saying, yes, to make at least your environment where you are living a little pleasurable one. If you happen to have a good peaceful place to live or something. But that's the fine line, that because when at different levels of economic financial status, when somebody sees a person having more money, has access to so many things, which we can call not just pleasure or but facilities or different things, then that person subconsciously is actually getting brainwashed or motivated, or I don't know, pulled to aspire to get more money. So, and I think that is a part of evolution. But where I stand, or where we stand in that whole cycle, the whole cycle of evolution, that because as he said, there is no end to desire. We can go on desiring things. Money will always be not, I mean, it will never be enough. No matter whether I have 10, 20, 30, the story of 99, no, that we keep hearing. The person was very peaceful, you give him 99 rupees, and then he starts thinking to make it 100, then 199, then the life becomes very anxious and all the time. I think even, and also having a lot of money is not a bad thing if we are not constantly engaged or attached to that thing. I mean, money is also a form of energy, which as per our thinking we utilize for different purposes. But yes, if we get too much possessive and attached to it, then then conflicts happen. But yes, there is one part when you have like some need, urgent need, people dying because of lack of treatment, because they didn't have money. So those are also the cases, or some other cases where there was need, but it was not fulfilled. So, I mean, just some thoughts that are coming to my mind that I'm sharing. So I think we have to find our own personal balance, maybe reduce the necessities, reduce the needs, and then because I just remember a story of a Zen master, when one businessman went to a Zen master and After that, he became very peaceful. And when he came back, then his co-colleagues, like other businessmen, say, why did you become could you become so peaceful and happy? Did your master gave you a lot of money or diamonds or gold, or how? He said, no, he didn't give me any of those, but he taught me how to reduce my desires and how to reduce my greed. And I think that is the way to, and for all of us. And yeah, that's all some stray thoughts coming to my mind.
So if you see this, like, what is the right place we have to give for money? What is the right place for money in the society or for an individual? If you observe this, then it is, you will know by yourself itself, right? If where to invest this money, like in which infrastructure, like the health infrastructure. If a person is dying without money for it is ridiculous, right? So why don't we invest in health infrastructure rather than status? That was my point. And so if you see, the economy is strongly rooted in society. We can't even think about, like, I can't live without money. So that much of conditioned our brains are right now for money.
No, but I mean, just as a question, can we live without money?
We can live without money. That is the thing. If you see from the historic times, what was the stage at that time? There was no money. There was only barter system or the commodity money. After that, it comes.
Yeah. I'm talking in the present times, because I mean that's what I said.
Also, if you observe, money is only necessary for basic needs.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Without money, we can't survive, right? For the basic needs, we need no question in our, we need money. So what is happening here is the desire is not stopping there itself. It is converting into greed. I want to become billionaire. I want to become millionaire. That's the how it is happening. That is my question. Because it is happening of the thought. Even Krishna ji has explained how desire arises in your mind. Is like when you see a Porsche or when you see a Ford car, you just see it and you sense it, and after sensation, how desire arises, this thought comes into the picture. I am driving in that Porsche car. You will imagine that I am driving in that Porsche car or in that Ford car. So this imagination is creating by thought. When thought comes into the picture, the desire is arising. Until unless if you are stopping there itself by seeing or by sensing, that's it. If thought is not coming in at that time, thought is entering after seeing, after sensing, and imagination. After imagination is creating by thought. I'm driving in Porsche, or else I'm becoming that billionaire. So thought is projecting this desire. When you know how to record, how to stop the recording, or what is the right place of thought, obviously we can cut down this greed. So can anybody, like Taral ji? I think
yeah, we have Jyoti Nagesh ji first. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. This is the first time I am attending a lecture in this platform. I am from Karnataka. I am a member of Theosophical Society for the last 20 years. So as the discussion was going on, as you invited anybody to share the views, so I thought just I can share my view also. And thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. And as JK was pointing out here in the video, I actually joined late. I was in the last part of it when the video was going on. So he said it should not be too much in our mind. Nothing should be too much in our mind. If something is too much in our mind, then we get attached to it. So better not get attached to it. That is the actually the logic behind anything. As a human being in the process of evolution, where we are supposed to reach our goal, as we know very well, in a spiritual, way. But as sir was telling, we do need money for our basic needs, no doubt about it. And it should not, we should not think that we should not earn. And just because we have to lead a simple life, it should not stop us from working. So if we think from the point like working is not to earn money, but if we are earning money with the work, whatever we are doing, that should not stop us working. So money, should not stop us working. The thought that if we earn more money or get attached to it should not stop us working, because we should remain all the time active and working. But how we channelize the money we get, how we spend the money we get is very, very important. All the rich people, whoever is earning a lot of money, are not leading a posh life. There are at least a few examples where the people are leading still a simple life, and whatever money they are earning, they are spending for the betterment of the poor cadre in the society. So that should be the attitude of a human being. So we should keep working. We should keep working. See, we have talent, we have skills, and that is fetching us some money. Yes, you keep going on with the work, whatever you are doing, and the money you earn, you spend for your basic needs. Don't get attached to it. So detachment, is very important. And spend that money for the good for the society. Then things will be fine. But it is very difficult to do that. It's not so easy as we say. But that is what we are supposed to achieve in this. The journey of life as human beings, to evolve to a higher plane, I feel. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jyoti ji. And now Taral ji, and after that Ajay Rai ji from Gorakhpur. Okay, yes.
Yeah. Most of the things Shikhar ji you said, the madam also just now said. मैं सिर्फ इतना कहना चाहता हूँ कि without infrastructure there is no decade, no evolution, no history. Even when the video was made with Jiddu ji inside it, it was made because there were tools available to record it. Now that is also a part of evolution. Money is essential for many different branches of evolution, like not only basic needs. Now basic needs in current scenario has changed. If you don't have a medical insurance, that's a basic need. If you don't have whatever vehicle you have insurance, that's a basic need. So such type of expenses will increase as the infrastructure moves on. Secondly, we should not be against anyone who is trying to do something by a project. Let's take the example of statues, which I think Harnath has given. Now there is a Sardar Patel statue. The people who are there, because I am from Gujarat, so there are many relatives there. What they say, that the earning of poor has increased like anything. Because if such monuments are created, then transportation is required. Small stalls are required wherein food is available. All people around that area, almost 100 to 300 kilometers, start earning because people come there. So similarly, in olden times, mandirs were created. Okay. So that was the only thing to get the people together. What we are, if a theosophical society or we are earning some money and we are putting into good use, money is always required. Without money, there is no growth possible in current scenario, sir. That's what one thing I wanted to say. Secondly, if our huge hospital is made with infrastructure, their fees are higher, but they are providing some facility. At the same time, there is a Netralaya in Chennai itself, which is world famous, wherein richest people go there, but they share the same common bed and get them operated. So the examples are there. We cannot control everyone in the world, but what we can do is we can redirect and regenerate the thought of current needs and how the money has to be invested. And definitely, investment will only happen when we'll earn. So we have to earn lots of money if we want to do something good. That's all I wanted to share. Thank you.
Thank
No, I agree with you thoroughly, but my point here is like money is not here to create the market of supply and demand. Money is not necessary to create a market of supply and demand.
It is, sir, in current economic scenario.
In my sense, what is happening here is a person will invent something and he will market it, and when he is marketing that product, he is getting huge amounts of money, which is not at all necessary. Even I can say some communists like M.N. Roy, I think, say, if a product is not reaching to the utter down poor people, then it is it is not at all an invention, he said.
Yes, sir, but
if you have money, you buy that product. If you don't have money, you don't buy that product.
Sir, please understand this, that one individual who invents anything has gone through a process of 5 years, 10 years, 6 years without earning until that invention is made. So you have to consider that also. You can't just consider the success only. Somebody said to Raj Kapoor, just hear me out, कि सर आप तो इतने खानदान से और इतना सक्सेस हो गए, तब राज कपूर जी ने बताया था कि पृथ्वीराज कपूर जी ने सबसे पहले उनको स्पॉट बॉय बनाया था. व्हाट इज अ स्पॉट बॉय? who makes tea and supplies to every artist for how many years? 4 years. So
No,
if
I
people are
agree
rich,
that the problem here is that what is the amount you are giving is problem. See, I agree he has spent some time, 4 years, 5 years, or he spent without earning some time. You just valuate for that time, that's it. But we are valuating more than that, what he has invented. That is the problem
if
here.
an invention goes,
Yeah. Sir, excuse me, sir. So I think this is, yeah. We can talk about it. Everybody has views and yeah. After the meeting, we can talk and call. And actually, this is the beauty of Theosophical Society, that we can agree to disagree with each other, and still be friends and be in a harmonious situation. And both of you are, actually the moderator is Harnath, but I am just coming in between. So okay. Ajay ji, you want to say anything? Then we will invite Shinde ji.
Okay. Blessings to the young Theosophists, especially for pondering on the thoughts by people like J. Krishnamurti, or those people who have given a new light, have kindled the society and have given a new light in the society to think about the evolution in the right direction. My blessings to all those young Theosophists. I'm interacting to them because they are not only progressing in the right direction, they are very, very rational. They are very, very critical on pointing out the matter. Well, when you get into a talk, everything has been said in the great detail by the other senior brethren. I would just like to add that when you get into the importance of money, and when you divide it, the money used by an individual and the money used by the cooperation, by the cooperative societies, or by the state, or by the nation, or by the international bodies, they have a different aspects. They have a different role to play. Coming down to Taittiriya Upanishad, we have an Annamaya course. The Annamaya course requires basic needs, a basic need as very well mentioned, that is roti, kapda and makan. So in order to meet that basic need for the existence, money is basically needed. But when you get to a subtler level, when you get to a higher level of a consciousness, money has little to play. Let me tell you, when you look at the rich people, so-called the great industrialists who have a name in the international forum of the business, as mentioned, that is Advani or Adani, or maybe Ambani's What are they happy with? They are having excess of money. So what we are living at, we are constantly making our endeavor to have an everlasting happiness. At a lowest level of the consciousness, the happiness can come through the money. That is by not only by making meeting the need of the basic requirement, but at the conscious level, the money used for the society, for the downtrodden will only give you happiness. I can give you a small couplet. गमों के आंच में आंसू बहा के देखो, खिले जो रंग उसे तुम उछाल के देखो, तुम्हारे मन में भी सकून आएंगे, खुशी आएंगे, किसी के पांव से कांटे निकाल के देखो. The removal of one pain from the body will give you a lasting happiness rather than a money. Money can be a small part in contributing to it. But as you get into a subtler level or a mental level, the evolution can only occur. The money has a very little role to play. So I personally feel, I congratulate again too, but one should ponder on those directions, that what conscious level we are talking at. Money can only, it was a barter system. The barter system has to be converted into money because evaluation was a different. Getting a gold of 10 grams and to rise to say about 2 bags. This equation, the money came into an existence, is a good device, but the money being used for pump and show, for a greed, will never give you a happiness even for a small bit of time. It will always give you a pain for a longer region. So at a different level of consciousness, the other media of happiness are there. We must ponder on it. And Krishnamurti has pointed out in a very nice way, the importance of money and where at the mental level we should accumulate in ourselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ajay ji. And we are almost nearing the end of the session. So final comments we'll take from Professor Shinde, and then after that, final comments from our moderator, Brother Harnath himself.
Well, thank you very much, Shikhar ji. Yeah. And also selecting this video of Jai Krishnamurti, our relationship to money. And I appreciate Harnath's perspective. As in the beginning, he said, what Krishnamurti is saying, the same thing I am also thinking of. So that is very important, Harnath. Becoming one with the speaker. And the speaker really enters into our consciousness deeply. And what you felt, the same thing I also felt. So when we listen to Krishnamurti, not only to the words, but his action, his sincerity, his honesty, he's a good teacher to communicate. In that way, I really appreciate the first sentence what you said. You are impressed by the Krishnamurti. So many people are inspired by him. He is really pointing out the relationship of money. Actually, we have to think it deeply, because the same question was asked in the masters also have asked, when the humanity will learn the value of money. Actually, when the humanity will learn real value of money, because they are very greedy and they have not learned the value of money. And I also learned the value of money when I stopped earning. So my 37 years of service, I earned money. And afterwards, I am asked to retire. No doubt it is forcefully retired, because after 60 age, we get retired. And afterwards, when I came over here, Radhaji asked me to come over here. And here we are voluntarily working. This is what? Work is worship. We are working, but not earning. We are spending what we have earned. So in this way, if I think of a relationship with the money, I really wish to born in the wealthy family next life, so that I can work voluntarily without earning money. So if we really understand this, the lot of treasure is there on the earth. And if we understand this principle, work is worship. And whatever we work, not for the earning, but for the betterment of humanity, then only we can have a right relationship with the money. Of course, as Ajay Rao pointed out, health is needed for the body, money is needed for, money is the moral need actually. If money is there, our heart becomes honest, pure, whatever it is, feelings pure. So it is a moral need. Money is the moral need. And we are evolving morally as well as physically as well as intellectually. So when we are evolving like this, that kind of attitude must come in us. Service mindedness must come in us. And that money is after all a power. We can enjoy our service also in a right way. That is what I want to contribute. Thank you, Harnath and Shikarji, and all of them. Even Jyoti also contributed her well thoughts. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Shindeji. And finally, Brother Harnath, we are looking at you for your final comments on this. Yeah.
So I would like to conclude this like by saying some one thing is like why our mind is occupied with money. So if you observe how much occupation is necessary, or whether it is necessary to be our mind always perpetually occupied with something. So it is not at all necessary. Even we are trying to bribe the god. If you see the temple of Balaji, what we are doing here, offering in the hundis, by getting some kind of truth or by getting some kind of grace from the god. It is not like that. If at all, if your mind is not occupied with these kind of superstition beliefs or dogmas or rituals or money, then your mind is completely free of every nonsense that is happening in the society, and your mind will become you will get some space in your mind, and from that space, in that space, you can find out what exactly the god is and what exactly the truth is. Truth is available only when your mind is not occupied. When your mind is occupied with so many lot of things, you can't able to find out what truth is. When you have some space, have some time to that, then only you will find out what exactly. But what is happening is from childhood we got cultivated, we got conditioned for like that life is like this. But till up to 25 we have to educate. After 25 to 45 or 55 we have to earn money. After 55 we will enter into some religious or spiritual mode. That is not the thing. If JK would think like that, he won't enter into spirituality at the age of 19 or 20 or at the age of 12. Or if Buddha has been thinking like that, he won't enter at the early age. You take any spiritual leader, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Ramana Maharshi, everybody has entered at the age of very young age. So that is not the thing we have to look life. There is no second pattern for life. There is no purpose, exactly the purpose for life. We are creating ourselves. But the thing is, if you have some not occupied with these kind of nonsense, you will find out by yourself like what exactly the truth is, what exactly the life is. So that's it from my side. So I would like to thank all the audience who has participated and they had given a valuable comments from their side. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brother Harnath. On behalf of Indian section, Young Indian Theosophist, I would like to extend our gratitude to your taking up this effort to lead the discussion in a and giving us so many valuable insights. And I think, all of us understand, and for that, this is not a platform for any arguments or any counter narratives. It's a platform which gives us food for thought. Maybe we may have conclusions, we may not have conclusions, but there is something that gives us food for thought, and we look over it in our free time and later after meeting. And that's what exactly Brother Harnath has done in this session. And hopefully it will inspire many of us. And thank you to all the participants who made this session very vital with their inputs. And a similar session, the last session of before closing and doing the prayer, I would like to announce the next session on 11th of December is the last session of this year of Young Indian Theosophist, and it is also on a very, very interesting subject. It is the influence of alcohol. So it is a booklet by Annie Besant. And in today's times, if we, seeing the effect of alcohol in the society, how is it, becoming so more and more common or fashionable, so especially our young people. So it would be a good session to attend for many of us, and it will be presented by Brother Mathurnath, whom we all know also is another young YITN. So same time, next Sunday, it will be there. And before we close, let us all again come together and let us pray for the welfare of the whole manifestation. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you all for joining, and see you next Sunday, same time. And have a great Sunday and week ahead. Thank you all again. Ending the meeting now.